We are facing an existential crisis.
Unlike anything the world has ever seen.
We need to take action.
Everyone has to stand up!
The warning is not a new one.
Our world faces a triple planetary crisis of climate change, natural loss and pollution.
For generations, humanity, often without...
You might think you can't turn a flip-flop into a piece of art, but you would be so wrong. The team of sculptors at Ocean Soul in Nairobi, Kenya, carves the most common footwear on the planet into hippos, giraffes, whales, and more. And so far the company says it has cleaned up around 10 million sandals from beaches, streets, and landfills.
They cost like $1. The problem with that is they break very easily. So what you have is a huge menace, flip-flops everywhere.
In fact, in some parts of the world, flip-flops make up nearly a quarter of ocean plastic. Can a team of hand-carving artisans make a dent in such a huge source of litter? We went to Nairobi to see how Ocean Soul makes art using worldwide waste. This style of sandal is some of the oldest footwear we have, dating back thousands of years. As plastic became cheaper toward the end of the 20th century, foam flip-flops took off. Today, we make over 1 billion of them every year, but most don't last long. That means a lot of flip-flops end up in landfills and waterways. In Kenya, the coasts are often littered with them.
So trashes come from even as far as from India, Philippines to over here. So sometimes we are shocked.
We have a network of collectors that collect flip-flops from our weekly beach cleanup efforts at the coast of Kenya. When you bring the flip-flops to us, we pay you an equivalent of 30 cents US per kilogram.
You'd need to bag more than 25 pairs to make the minimum daily wage of a typical worker in Nairobi. All told, collectors usually bring in about 1 ton of flip-flops per week. That's more than 3,000 sandals. First, the shoes go through a thorough hand wash using water and detergent.
We live in a very hot climate. It takes probably 2 to 3 hours for them to dry, and then our artists will come to pick them and use them to make the sculptures.
For small and medium sculptures, workers die-cut the flip-flops into templates. Then use a non-toxic glue to bind the shoes together.
Remember, we're using a tiny flip-flop, so you have to build up before you're able to carve down. Then our artists will carve them out into a finished product.
The company has around 90 employees. Many of their artists used to make traditional Kenyan wood carvings. But that kind of work has dwindled since the early 2000s when Kenya scaled back logging, which made raw materials harder to come by.
When I used to do woodworking, I never thought of destruction of environment.
These artists say working with a softer material isn't too different from working with wood. The knives and sanding tools are the same, but you do get fewer splinters.
The end product will be a crab. It takes almost 2 hours to complete a piece.
For larger pieces, artists repurpose old insulation from shipping containers as a base and cover them with flip-flops.
And that's why with the bigger sculptures, you'll notice that they have a contour look, while with the smaller ones, there's a stripy look.
Nearly every part of the process is done by hand, and it can take up to 3 months to complete some of the larger pieces.
The only time we use a machinery is when we come here to sand. So after they're done carving with a knife, they'll come here and sit down and use these sanding machines to smoothen the sculptures. I'm gonna walk out of here because it's too noisy.
The company keeps a stock of marine animals, like turtles and whales, in keeping with the clean ocean theme. There's also safari-inspired carvings, like elephants and giraffes, which are the best sellers.
People say that they love them because of their twisted necks, and they also have beautiful eyelashes.
The sandal shavings get repurposed.
We have a shredder in the back that shreds them into smaller pieces like this. And from here, we're able to make mattresses that we donate to a refugee program in northern Kenya.
Next comes a quality control check.
The lady will make sure that, the elephant has 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 tail. If anything is not right, it's returned back to the artists where they will fix it.
Then the statues are washed one more time before being shipped to their destinations. The plastic and rubber often used in flip-flops poses a unique danger to marine life.
They actually target plastic, thinking that is food. The smaller fish, having ingested plastic, tends to be buoyant in that they are not able to dive down into the ocean because of that light material in their stomach.
Julie Church, the conservationist who founded Ocean Soul, got inspired after a visit to the Kenyan coastline in 1997.
She noticed that a lot of kids were making toys out of discarded flip-flops, and from there she got an idea that she could actually replicate the same model.
Now the team collects and carves more than 700,000 flip-flops a year. And the Pope himself was presented with an elephant carving when he visited Kenya in 2015.
So this is the gift that I hope will accompany you on your very important journey through life.
Joe and his artists aren't the only ones who've noticed the world's map.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Kindly confirm if you can hear me. Okay, great. Oh, we welcome you all. We welcome you all. If you're hearing me, you can hear me. It shows that you are successfully been into the second phase of the RecycleUp program, and I say a big congratulations to you. This shows your dedication. It shows that you are actually very, 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 very important, and it shows that you have the drive for sustainable innovation in Nigeria. And I welcome you to the second phase of this program. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's going to be a very quick one today because we just want to introduce to you what this space is all about. So I will hand over the stage. Sorry, don't mind the background noise. I'm actually on a trip. But I'll hand over this space to our director of the space. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Obakemi, and good afternoon to each and every one of you. Once again, I want to say congratulations to everyone that were able to make it to this phase. And I think I make a personal request, Mr. Femi, if we can give access to others to join on Zoom, if it's possible. But more importantly, this session is going to be a very, very brief session, which informs on what the phase 2 and phase 3 of this program is all about. I want to congratulate each and every one of you that has been able to make it to this phase. And I believe that it's going to be of greater impact across board. And I also know for sure, like I think I mentioned it some times ago, that yeah, a large number of people was admitted into this program. However, it's not everybody that are going to be accepted to phase 2. And I don't want to disclose any number. Definitely, I know it's now to 30% of those who were admitted to the phase 1 were admitted into phase 2. But that aside, I want you to know that it's a rare privilege for you to be participating in this phase 2 of the program, and which I believe that now that you are here, you should ensure that you give it your very best shot. And you should ensure that every activity in this phase 2 and 3, you are getting to engage in it back to back, ensuring that you keep to timeline for each and every day. Once again, I want to congratulate each and every one of you. My name is Emmanuel Launoyo, as many of you might know. You can also call me the STG catalyst. I don't know where your backend is so director anyway, but I'm glad to also provide further information regarding this phase 2 of the program. Just to proceed, Mr. Femi, I made a request. I made a request for a link. Can you please share it with me, maybe on this Zoom platform or privately as a message? I would love to share my screen now, and I would just love a confirmation once you see that comes up from your very hand. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good to go now. So here we are right away from, thank you for that confirmation, and thank you for the link as well. I always love to keep a track of those who I converse with. So right about now, this is a summary of the phase 1 to phase 3 of this RecycleUp Innovation program. And as you have successfully participated in the phase 1 of the program, here we are getting to proceed to phase 2 of the program, which officially commenced today. Yesterday was your onboarding to the was your onboarding to phase 2, and today you participated in the phase 1 of the program. Today is the official commencement of this phase of this program. And I want to believe that each and every one of you have studied this timeline. But maybe I should ask as a question. That's what I want to try as much as possible to track. If I thought you've studied the timeline and you are very, very clear on what the timeline says or speaks, I want to see it in the comment section. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the highest, to what extent do you understand this timeline? For phase 2 and phase 3, just put it there in the comment section. And the person asking for WhatsApp link, I believe in your email, the WhatsApp link has been shared with you. Definitely you can get to join the WhatsApp link for sure. So you shouldn't be asking for WhatsApp link at this time. Okay, Mohammed said 5, Ghania said 5. Okay, I can see 5. Ijema said 5. Oh, and my friends that are saying 10, I'm happy that you are saying 10, because at the point whereby people will need clarification, you are going to be in the best position to give further clarification regarding the activities of the program. So let me start by informing us about this important activity. It's called the Eco 30 Sustainable Living Challenge. It's not in your timeline. I'm not sure it's in your timeline. Let me check. But if it's there, I would say very good work by the project team, but they might actually expunge it for some reasons. But I'm bringing it back to you now. It's a 30-day sustainable living challenge, which cut across the 3 dimensions of sustainability: the economic, the social, and environmental sustainability. So this challenge has various activities, and it also grooms you to become more sustainably inclined. So it's an important priority. It's a priority for each and every one of you to be part of this challenge. So you are expected, they will always share the resources with you each and every day, but more importantly, whatever the task for each day is, ensure that you carry it out. I just have to share that by the side, because it's an important information I want you all to have. So looking at my timeline now, I can see quite a lot of you saying, yeah, you've studied the timeline, you have a very good understanding about the timeline. Those sayings, sevens, eights, and all of that, it's fine. But that's why we are here for you. We are here for you this afternoon. So mainly phase 2 and phase 3. We are done with phase 1 of the program. Congratulations to those who were selected. I think maybe 1,000 plus was selected for this phase. And definitely, you can minus it for those who were discontinued to move on to the next phase. The very first thing which we have is this city impact and public engagement. The city impact and public engagement is an individual activity. Let me say it that way. The city impact and public engagement is an individual activity. Every activity within the city impact and public engagement is an individual activity. And also for the phase 3, which is research, case study, and community projects, they are state, or let me say their group activities. You are meant to do this as a team. And the team is always categorized by state, by your state of residence, not your state of origin. So let me repeat again. The city impact and public engagement, which is phase 2, is an individual activity. You are meant to do it individually. But phase 3, which is the research, case studies, and community projects, they are meant to be team-based activities. And definitely each state is going to have their own activity being done across their own respective end. So the first thing is each and every one of you are going to be onboarded. Please, you can just, maybe you can disable admitting people in so that they can come in automatically. I don't know if that's possible, Afemi, or those who are on the call can keep admitting them because I keep seeing that notification on my screen. So now each and every one of you have been admitted into the WhatsApp group. The RecycleUp WhatsApp group is there for you to join. Please don't share this link with anybody. It's important. Don't say that, oh, one of my friends was not admitted because you were admitted. You not share the link. You are wrong. Please don't do that. It's very important. And after that, one activity which is meant to commence today is the city tour and video documentary. The city tour and video documentary is very, very simple. And let me narrate this experience. There was a day I was walking along the street, or let me, many of you will have this similar experience. Those days when you were very young, along the streets or along your streets or a particular community, you just see them write a particular cause, or not even a cause now, a message that do not dump refuse into this particular place, or in your language you can define it. And sometimes along the road you see this indiscriminate disposal of waste. This is what this phase is all about. You are meant to do a video recording of that particular location in your community. Even if it's in any community you belong to, within the 5-kilometer radius of your location, you are meant to do a documentary of those indiscriminate activities, those illegal waste disposal sites in your community. There are some states I travel to, as immediately I'm driving into that state, there is this bad smell which you perceive, which has to do with dump sites, illegal dump sites, waste disposal sites, which I believe many of you too do experience. This is something that you are meant to preach the gospel. So it's basically you getting to document the process and getting to tell a story around that. And this, definitely, you are going to be putting this on your social media. You are going to be putting this on your social media. And the hashtag which you're going to be using to drive this is Keep Nigerian Clean. So when you get to see locations like this, you are meant to maybe vlog, that's what you want to do. Any form of documentary you can create around that. And you should just create it. You are going to submit the link. Definitely you post on YouTube. You submit the YouTube link to us. There are some certain places you are meant to post these videos to. You post on Instagram, you can post on LinkedIn. When you post on Instagram, you post as a collaboration post with RecycleUp. But more importantly, please, you are meant to upload this on your YouTube account. Each and everyone has a YouTube account, in as much as you have a Gmail account. So you can upload it, then submit the link when it's time for submission. So that's what the city tour and video documentary is all about. And the community awareness is what you do through your sensitization, speaking against these unsustainable habits. And once you are done through that, you are meant to submit a report of what you've done. Like a form is going to be provided to you by the project team. They share this form with you, and it informs about the activities, your location, your experience, the message you're able to pass across. But there's going to be a prize for the top winner of this video documentary, the city tour and the video documentary. There's going to be a prize for the top winner. And the one of the metrics which is going to be used to assess that is going to be the quality of your content, the message that was communicated, and also, more importantly, we are not using likes now. This is not about likes. Definitely likes might be part of this, the metrics, which is also going to be used to. So we are not saying that you go and look for likes and start looking for fake likes everywhere. But the most important thing is the message you are passing across. So, which is very valid and strong point, which you are going to be used to assess to be a top winner of that phase. And like I said, this is an individual activity. But there is an activity which is a team-based activity, which you are also to do in this month of April, which is a community-based project, And I will just go to phase 3 now. Like I said, it's a team-based activity. Yeah, and you are going to do it by state. On those states, FCT, Kaduna State, Kano State, Bauchi State, across all the states in Nigeria. Each and every one of you, aside the fact that you've been added to a general WhatsApp group, you're also going to be added into your state group. Before the end of the week, you are going to receive a new document that details all the state WhatsApp group there is. But there's a warning to this, and the warning is you are not meant to join more than a state. The moment they see you in 2 states, that's your eviction from the program. I'm saying it again, any WhatsApp group you are joining should be your state of residence. That should be where you are going to be in April and between April till the end of June. If currently, I know some of you might be, maybe you're preparing to go and serve, and unfortunately, you are currently in Lagos State and they posted you to FCT, or you definitely don't know where they are posting you. Please, you have to, I won't say you should wait, but it's important that you wait till when you get your posting letter before you join that state, because definitely once they post you to new state, you know that's where you're going to be next year. Don't say that Lagos, I was in Lagos at the time we onboarded. Now, service took me to Kaduna, or service took me to Abuja. So I'm not in Abuja. You have to be on just one group, on one state group. And once all of you join the group, you are meant to select a representative for your group, for your state team. This can be by election, and this can be by nomination, but it should be a process that is just and transparent, and more importantly, is inclusive of each and everyone's participation. So it's not like in a state of 10 fellows, you are just coming out like I'm the state representative when others do not subscribe or approve you being the state representative. So the function of the state representative is going to be that you are going to be acting more in terms of communication with the project lead. I mean, the project team for RecycleUp Innovation, because there are quite a lot of information they are going to be passing across to you in the course of this phase 2 and phase 3. And take, for example, the submission of proposal. You as a state lead, you are meant to be the one to submit the proposal for your state team. When you have to submit a report, you as the state lead, you are meant to submit the report for your state team. So it's not that everybody are going to submit proposal for community-based projects. So the team are expecting just 37 reports. That's 36 states plus FCT. So we are not expecting 1,000, maybe 98 reports. We are expecting just 37 reports across all the 36 states which are being represented in this program. So moving on to phase 3, like I said, all of you are going to be grouped into different phases, into different states based on your state of residence. But please, once you receive that document, ensure you join just the state which you belong. And you can kickstart your city tour project instantly. You don't need to wait for anyone. But if you want to connect and brainstorm together, but just be yourself. Come up with a... Let me just move on so that I know there's still going to be questions and answers. Research, case study, and community project. The research, the intrastate case study development is basically defined to address environmental challenges your state is facing. And this, the result of this is you coming up with a circular development plan for your state. For states that already have, fine. You can do a review of what, I know there are some states that have circular economic development plan. They have a roadmap around that. But you are meant to come up with an idea on what your state can do better when it comes to driving circular economy and sustainable waste management. So the development plan is the intrastate case study development is you assessing the current situation of things in your state to say that, oh, which aspect of waste management are we lacking, or which area are we really facing challenges? What can be done to solve this problem? What has been done to solve similar problem? What has been done in developed countries? What has been done in other African countries? What can be done in our states? So that is what you are coming up with as a state thing. And this is being expected. I know by June, we are all going to be submitting this to the Ministry of Environment across the respective states. So on the names of those who came up with this circular development plan, so which are the fellows in each state. So, and I also hope that maybe the RecycleUp team can get to publish this for each and every state online. So, and a similar activity, which, because you are not just going to do your, you are not just going to come up with a circular development plan. without the general public in your state knowing about it. So there's going to be a virtual workshop whereby you can get to present whatever you've done and whatever you have in mind, which is the intrastate virtual workshop for phase 3. The intrastate virtual workshop for phase 3 is just a 1-hour event or a 90-minute event, virtual event, not physical event, please. It's clearly stated, where you get to disseminate your idea and share it with the general public in your state. I know you're going to ask questions that, how are we going to carry out this workshop? This workshop is going to happen on Zoom. Each and every one of you are going to have access to a Zoom platform. You are going to have access to resource templates, designs that you can use to do publicity online. The only thing is for you to identify those who are going to speak on behalf of your team to disseminate your workshop to the general public. And also you get to do your publicity to the general public, people within your community. Then you can also choose, if you want, you can choose to invite a dignitary within your community. You can choose to invite the Commissioner for Environment. You can choose to invite the peers. If you have access to the governor, you can, but just engage with the right stakeholders. They can be part of your virtual workshop, whereby you can exchange ideas, discuss. Before you know what is going on, at the end of this phase, many of you are going to, some of you might definitely take up the work of becoming a consultant to your respective states when it comes to driving circular development, circular economy development plan in your respective states. And each and every one of you, so this intrastate case study development is going to happen within the first 17 days in the month of May. You are not meant to do anything in this regard in April. You are meant to do this in May. So you prepare to do that. The only thing you are preparing to do, you are going to be doing this April is just a city tour, video documentary, do your community campaigns and awareness, participate in the 30-day series of Eco 30 Sustainable Living Challenge. Then the last thing we are going to be doing for this May is what I want to speak on now, community-based projects. For community-based projects, across all the states in the month of, it's between May. We actually extended it because it's always in the month of June before, but based on feedback, people want like 2 months to carry out that, to do a lot of planning and engage across board. Community-based projects definitely is going to be a state activity whereby you look at activities which you want. It might be a cleanup, but this year, I know definitely the team are going to get back to you because for previous years, they've been having various activities whereby a state might choose a cleanup activity and that state might decide to choose a town hall meeting. But the decision this year is it's just going to be a single activity. It's just going to be a single event. So on the leaders group, after you've appointed your leaders, there's going to be a poll on the leaders group on what each and every one of you mostly prefer to be the community-based activity, which is going to be implemented across the 30 states within that's going to be between 11th of May to 28th of June. You still have like 3 months ahead to work towards this and plan towards this. But the intrastate virtual workshop is going to be after you are done with your case study development plan, and you can have your workshop between the 1st to 30th of June. The submission of your workshop, the submission of your intrastate circular development plan is going to be in the month of June. That is going to be 15th of June. You are meant to submit before then. So any day that you see a specific date, it's by that day. I mean, before that day. So you can choose to submit that day. But if you don't submit that day, ensure that you've submitted before that day. You can't submit after that day. So we also have submission of community-based projects, which is before 30th of June, 2026. So those are the activities for phase 2. At phase 3, definitely these are interesting and very engaging activity, which we believe that each and every one of you are going to have an impactful and very transformative learning experience. And it's also going to be a good time to connect and network with each other across your respective states. But I just want to say this 1, 2, 3, which are key points that you need to note. Please, you need to respect time. You need to respect time management is another key thing you need to ensure. In participating, you need to imbibe that skill of time management. And another thing which is also very important is, before I go to time management also connects to you getting to ensure that you do the right thing at the right time. Now, we're having this information session so that you can have a clarity and a clear view of what the activities are. So we are not expecting that you are coming back that you don't understand. If you don't understand anything, then that means you didn't participate in this session. We'll refer you back to this link to go and watch. Then maybe my friends that scored 10, that rated themselves 10 can explain to you. But more importantly, please ensure that you have a very good understanding of this timeline and you keep to each and every deadlines. Like I said, we have like maybe 30% of those who started this program. By phase 4, there is a certain percentage we are looking for. We are not even looking up to 200 of you. That's the truth by phase 4. So you have to just give your very best, but I'm very sure that in as much as you can participate in phase 2 and phase 3, then you can complete these 2 phases. You've done successfully well. Not to talk about the circular innovation phase, which I'm not speaking about now. It has its own modalities. Definitely by the month of June, you are going to have more information about the circular innovation phase. Definitely there is a boot camp which is going to come up 4th of July. But for now, we just keep those information on hold as we get to proceed to phase 2 and phase 3 of this program. I'll be happy to take questions right about now. For those who are on YouTube and those who could join the Zoom session. So if you have a question, please do well to drop it in the comment section. On YouTube, you can drop it in the comment section. And I want to believe that, is there any specific that we're going to meet within our states during the state project? So for bonding, sometimes you guys can decide to hang out, and it's not in your work plan, but it's something that is welcome. And definitely, I've seen some notification on phase 4. And what about the city tour documents and like activities of work? I actually don't understand your question, Mohammed, for you. But if you're asking about phase 4, the criteria for phase 4, definitely is going to be communicated later to you. And like I said, I'm holding every information regarding that for now. So that's more important, which I can get to share. What about if is only one person? Oh, God bless you for that. Thank you for that question. What about if you are the only one in your state? If you are the only one in your state, you still carry on with your activity. So you still carry on with your activity, definitely. Most when it comes to, but definitely I think there's been situations whereby in some states there was no fellow, and there was a state I remember that she was the only fellow. I think Ekiti State 2024, she was the only fellow. But there were supports which were also provided just to ensure that she carry out some active. But we also ensure that there are exceptions. There are also necessary support being provided to such fellows and necessary guidance provided. What are the factors to address while conducting the video or documentary? Also, for how long should the documentary? Say 2 to 3 minutes documentary. It's not meant to be a long documentary. They are not asking you to do a 30 minutes documentary. So basically to preach against that unsustainable habit. I just want to, then I think I also want to reiterate this, but I think every day there must be a reminder for everyday activities because things are much. Mr. Benjamin, things are much. Well, I want to respect your opinion. Then I also want to respect that. I also want you to have this in mind that you need to be very intentional about what you are doing. I won't say that your state team is going to remind you. I won't say that your friends are going to remind you. But if you really know what you want in this program, then you need to know, you need to put every effort. You know, not like I'm a perfect being, not like the people on the project team are perfect being. If you don't ask them what is on this timeline, if they don't see this timeline, they know what is next. So why the project team have provided this timeline for you, I think it's just easy for you to note one or two things that, okay, I'm to do this, and looking at the activity for the month of April, it's not an activity whereby you need to engage yourself all through the days. And also another way, which is also going to be a friendly way for you to be reminded, is to be active on the WhatsApp group, on your state WhatsApp group. The general WhatsApp group is not going to be open for any reason. So it's where you get sensitive information. Now, we are switching the mode of information and communication to strictly WhatsApp. So the only thing you receive on emails are going to be when you are going to just key information, sensitive documents, and which has to do with maybe submission links and all of that. Those are the things you receive via email. But every information you get to receive from the team are going to the general WhatsApp group, which are things that I believe are also I've shared, are also on the program brief. So is there any specific, okay, I think I've responded to that. Oh, can a person use his local language for the city tour? If you are using your local language for the city tour, I think it's best that you also have you have a kind of I'm trying to I'm trying to cite a very scenario now. When you see some videos, maybe a kind of video in Hausa language or maybe an international news, I don't want to use an international news agency, when they create a documentary, you see that they still try as much as possible to translate it in maybe English. So you can have those texts. I think there are some apps that easily can help you to translate to English, whereby whoever that is watching can also cite in, can also read that as the video is ongoing. But formally, it's best you get to do that in English. It's best to do your video in English. Okay. Is there a selection before? No, there's no selection before moving to phase 3. Okay. how do we join the water group of our various states? A document will be shared on the general group. And then I also want to say this, that community-based project is not meant to be done alone. It's also definitely across our respective states. It's open to partnership with Ministry of Environment in your state. The reason why we are having community-based projects is definitely in the month of June. Every state government always they are not meant to be actors. So that's why sometimes you see government agencies, many of them might not carry out a particular project on their own. They will tell you that they are meant to facilitate a process to happen. So you can definitely choose to engage with maybe Ministry of Environment in your state to say that you want to have that's after your state leads have chosen that particular community-based project which they want to do. Nobody is telling you to go, okay, let me just complete that aspect first before I move to this other key disclaimer I want to mention. So you might choose to reach out to a Ministry of Environment in your state to be part of the process. I've seen a state that reached out to the Ministry of Environment in their states, and the Ministry of Environment supplied them with truck, everything they had to use for cleanup. They even joined them in the community cleanup process. So definitely it's open up to partnership. You can involve different organizations in your state, provide necessary support. To an extent, we are not expecting that you are using your own money to do this. So let me put that disclaimer. Now, because I know some people might be thinking about something else ahead. Must the engagement be with the community be in English? No, definitely you speak the language which they understand. You speak the language. What are the factors I think I've addressed this video length. Do you have any question on Zoom? We have different local governments in states. I can see a question that I would love to attend. It's hashtag clean up, keep Nigeria, hashtag keep Nigeria clean. Obakemi, am I correct? Keep Nigeria clean.
Keep Nigeria clean. Yes, sir.
Okay, so please, I know the community manager are going to provide more information. There's this question from Joy. We have different local governments in the state. My question is, do we need to work with everyone, which may result traveling? Another question is community-based projects. Okay, yes. Thank you very much, Joy, for this very important question. So when it comes to state activities, there are some states that, the state I am currently has, there's 3 state local governments. And when you see other people joining your team, it's good you also understand how close you are from each other. You can decide to break your state into 3 groups or 2 groups. So let me use this as a very simple example. I know many of us have been to Lagos before. So in Lagos, there's a way they classify themselves. They say people in the mainland, people at the island. So you can choose to divide. I think there was a year a group like that did that, and they executed the same thing. But definitely they did their activity on the same day. But definitely they had to submit. You have to submit your report together. So they still submitted their reports together. So you are not required to travel from one state to the other. So please, you need to, if the aspect of traveling has to be involved, you are not meant to travel. So if at all it's going to involve a lot of people traveling from one very far location to another far location, then you can get to break into different subgroups. So you are meant to do a video documentary To the person, you can decide to use your passing, you can decide to do a voiceover on that. You can decide to use a music track, but definitely you should speak again. You can decide to do the regular vlogs, and you can get to, but more importantly, your video content should speak against that illegal dumping of waste in your community. So it's as simple as that. Yeah, I think I've answered. Okay, Joseph said, if a person relocates, can the person exit the former state WhatsApp group and join a new state? So, Mr. Joseph, let me answer that question. When you join a state and you are participating in that state, it's not only that you are going to exit, you need to submit a new record with the state lead of that state. Because at the commencement of you joining that particular state, the state lead knows those who are on the state. Because in the course of this program, we're also going to be tracking your activities. We are going to be tracking your progress to ensure that you participate. And there is a certificate at the end of phase 3. There are some people that are going to earn 2 certificates at the end of this program, while there are some people that are going to earn just 1 certificate. Like I said, it's not everybody that moved to phase 2 that are going to move to phase 4. Phase 2 and 3 are together. So there's a certificate at the end of phase 3, but it's not everybody that joined this phase 2 and phase 3 that are going to earn that certificate. So maybe you participated. Let me start doing that disclaimer now. You did your community, you did your city tour and campaign, but you didn't participate in the state community activities. Please don't expect a certificate from the project team. So you need to have a full involvement, a full participation, and in anything your state, your group are doing, it's meant to be a teamwork. And we're also looking forward to people that are going to come together in their respective states as a single entity to drive innovation towards phase 4. Because from the inception of this program in 2023, we see quite a lot of people that have similar ideas, but will just choose to do it as an individual entity. But now we are preaching that if at all what you intend to do is as simple as plastic, maybe you want to do plastic recycling, and there's someone in your state that wants to do plastic recycling, we are looking forward to, I think I'm already discussing phase 4, and I don't want to do this. So let me just finish. We are looking forward to both of you coming together as a single entity than you saying that you want to be a standalone person. So we are preaching more of collaboration, but definitely towards that end, there is a way which which the project team are definitely going to be doing the selection to ensure that there is no disparities and to ensure that we are more, there is this common saying that 2 are better than 1. And, definitely it's better to be a CEO of a 1 billion investment than to be it's better to be a co-founder of a 1 billion investment than to be the founder and CEO of a 1 million investment company. I believe you understand that saying. So that's one thing which we are driving more when it comes to the circular innovation and business development phase. So I think that will be all. I just want to see once more if there are other stuff which we need something. So when you want to do your community project, most especially for those who want to extend partnership, there is a formal partnership draft which the team are going to share with you. you can get to submit to any stakeholder you want to submit to within your state, maybe for support or for engagement. Like I mentioned, the waste management complaint, you can get to write to them, and definitely they'll be part of whatever you want to do. But for sure, all of this is going to be determined based on what the entire state leads select as unanimously as what they want as a community-based activity for this year. So for those who joined on Zoom, I think none of you has a question because I didn't. Oh, I can see a lot of comments on Zoom now. Sorry, I've been so intentional about those who are on YouTube. Okay, the 30 days activity. So the 30 days activity is called Echo 30 Sustainable Living Challenge. It's basically promoting sustainable living practices which cut across economic, social, and environmental activities. So take, for example, now, you getting to make use of green transportation. There is a day that focuses on that, or you getting to conserve energy. You know, there are some of us that are fond of, maybe you are going for a meeting in your boardroom, and within your office, your fan or your AC is left on. These are little things these are unsustainable practices. And there are some of us whereby, I think I've said this before, you know that you have a clique of friends and you are going for a party. Maybe you are going for a party on Good Friday or Good Monday. What stops all of you to say that you want to carpool to that? Patients, you're asking what's the benefit of this program? Okay, if by now you don't know the benefit of this program, I just hope you are safe, still being on this program. You can go and read in detail what the program entails. So, to those who are just asking questions about video content, you might have to rewatch. Are we going to submit the video content every day for this phase 2? You have to do your video content. Okay, I'm going to reiterate again. But for those who are just joining, please don't ask any question. Just go and rewatch this video. We intentionally don't want to make this session long. We just want to make it like 30 minutes so that each and everyone can get to rewatch. You are to choose any day between 2nd to 19th of April to do your video documentary. Maybe the first day is you just want to observe. If you've not been observing, I do observe a lot when I'm going out. So I know many of us on the team, we do observe a lot, and we even have some of these pictures. You might choose to observe when you are going out tomorrow, and you might choose to see that, oh, I know I might not be able to do my documentary between today and maybe Monday to Friday because of work. You can choose to do your documentary on a Saturday morning, early in the morning, and you're done. Put it online between 13th and 29th, or put it on necessary platform. Like I said, you are going to be posting on IG, on your LinkedIn, and you also submit the link. But when you are posting on LinkedIn, on IG, you can do a collaboration post with RecycleUp. I think the page is back now. I think this would be the 3rd time the page was disabled, but another page was created recently last month, and they've been able to revive that. So it's a new page entirely, but definitely you can do your collaboration post on that. But more importantly, please, you have to put this on your YouTube as well so that it stays there forever. And a day is coming whereby you are applying for a grant, and you are going to be using this as your proof as one of your documents. Then you're going to make a reference to that, and quite a lot of things which are going to be achieved through this little act which you're doing. So more importantly, you have to ensure that you carry this out between 2nd and 19th. It's not like you are doing that all the days of 19th. So, and your community awareness and campaigns are meant to be between 13th and 29th. You submit your city tour report between 25th and 30th. But once it's 30th, the form is going to close automatically and you'll be able to submit that report. So once you don't submit the reports and once you don't participate, you know that you are one leg out of the program. But like I said, once you participate in phase 2, also ensure you participate in phase 3 so that will contribute to your credits of participating in the final phase and also being certified at the end of phase 2 and 3. So if there are other questions, definitely you can always, like I'm just reading from Bakemi, I think they will share the social media links. You can share the social media links on their WhatsApp platform so that each and everyone can also get to follow the social media platform. If there are other questions, I know the community manager there to respond to you, and also Mr. Bakemi is also there to get to provide necessary answer to your question. Please, I might not be able to take any other question. I can see Rose raising her hand now. So, but I believe you can get to drop your question on the group. Like I said, once you join your state groups, you have to select a leader, and the leader should reach out to Oluwatosin. She's going to signify, she's going to write her name. You see our phone number on the general group once again. You can get to reach out to Oluwatosin. Oluwatosin will provide the next information for you. So thank you, everyone. I also want to say congratulations to you all for advancing to this very phase. And to the entire project team for RecycleUp Innovation Program, well done. And we are so proud of you for the very good work you are doing. I think my work is done here. Is Obakemi still on this call to take it further? I'm still seeing someone's hand. Okay, can you drop it in the comment section? Can you drop it in the comment section? Rose, please drop your question in the comment section. Okay, let me give Rose the opportunity to speak. Rose, please, you can ask a question in a minute. I don't want it to be me only speaking. Since we have you on Zoom, that's the essence of having you on Zoom. Rose, please, you can unmute your mic and ask a question. Just in 30 seconds. Your name, your state, and your question.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
My
name is Rose from Anambra State, Nigeria. Okay, I think I was having a bridge of network when you were saying something. I want to understand the video and the video content and also the publicity and community engagement. It should be done in teams, right? I want to understand.
Okay, thank you very much, Rose. There was another person that raised his or her hand, even though it's Xiaomi by name. That's not meant to be a name, please. It's better you rename your display name. So, like I mentioned when I started my presentation, please ensure that you have a clear understanding of these two phases. Phase 2 are meant to be individual activities. Every activity in phase 2, except the submission of proposal. In fact, this submission of proposal is, I'm expunging it for now. But every activity in phase 2 are meant to be individual activities. But for phase 3, they are meant to be teamwork. I mean, you are meant to come together as a team to collaboratively to achieve that. So that's just different from phase 2 and phase 3. I think I've answered that question. Thank you for that confirmation. I think that will be all for now. If there are other things, please. I know there are a lot of us that will still come back and say that, oh, they didn't get this information clearly, they didn't get this and that. Please be your brother's keeper. very importantly, be your brother's keeper. Do well to provide more clarification and explanation to them. Please, you haven't answered my question. Okore Hester, I sincerely don't know what your question is, but for sure, when you join the WhatsApp group, your questions are going to be addressed. I apologize if I miss any question. I know it might be a lot, but I'm trying to get a look just to review and check if there is any other related question. So you have to identify legal waste, not legal waste disposal places. We don't have, they already got the system correctly. We are looking at the illegal waste disposal side. So those are the things you have to do. Not, there are some sites that the government has approved for waste dump. So you don't have any business with that. I'm also trying to see. Oh, okay. Please, Obakemi, note that someone is requesting for the link for all the entire lectures. Please, we can share the Zoom link, the YouTube link with each and every one, and each and everyone can get to review it. I think that will be all. I wish each and every one of you a super productive day ahead. Enjoy the rest of your day.